Go ahead and now let's do example 4. Find n, and now instead of 2, I could use any base I want. 8. A to the n times a to the n times a to the n equals to a to the first power. Go ahead and find n for us. Okay, go ahead. Everybody try. Pretty simple, isn't it? You're like, what's the difference, Mr. Huang? That's like same thing as what we did before, right? What's the answer? What's n? 1/3, right? Because you get a to the 3, right? n plus n is 3n. You know that 3n has equal to 1, so n must be 1/3. So now, you know how we said we're going to think about what these fractional exponents really mean? So isn't this what we have? A to the 1/3 times a to the 1/3 times a to the 1/3 equals a to the first power. Now let me ask you this. What same numbers can you multiply 3 times that would equal to 8? Do you know such number? Think about what we're doing here. Aren't these all same numbers, right? We're multiplying same numbers 3 times, right? All of them, right? Some x times x times x equals 8. Do you know a number that you can multiply the same number 3 times and make it equal to 8? Yes. 2. Isn't this true? Isn't 2 times 2 times 2 8? Right?
Is it?
Right? So, what does a to the 1/3 mean? It equals to 2. In other words, a to the 1/3 is equal to 2. Can you, does that make sense? No, a to the 1/3 times a to the 1/3 times a to the 1/3 equals 8, right? So guess what? A to the 1/3 has to equal to 2. That's the value of a to the 1/3. That's what I'm saying, right? Because they have to, right? They have to equal to each other, right? If they equals to 8. Do you understand? So
They have the same value, then it's the same.
right. So
Each individual.
yeah. So hold on to that thought for a second. So what does a to the 1/3 really mean? Can somebody tell me in terms of words or as a sentence? What are we really looking for? If I say a to the 1/3, what am I really looking for? What is it that? What's the value of it? Really? Okay, 1, 2 people thinks. 3, 4. Sasha, what do you think? You want
A number that when it's cubed it comes in.
exactly right. Do you want to add something to
We're
that?
looking for the cubic root of the number.
Not cubic root. You're looking for if you were to cube a number, meaning if you were to multiply a number 3 times, same number 3 times, how do you get 8?
That's
So
what I meant.
that's right. So here's what I wrote down. You could change this, but I wrote this. What same numbers can you multiply 3 times? Meaning, right? What can you cube a number? That's the same thing that Sasha said. What same numbers can you multiply 3 times to make it equal to 8? That's all we're saying. That's what the fractional exponents mean.
So that's how it's a word problem.
No. This is just explaining what a to the 1/3 mean. The word problem for the chapter 12 will be a little bit different.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's not going to be like asking.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So,
This is just explaining what it means here. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Isn't this what it's asking? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So do you think it'll only work for a to the 1/3 power? No, it could work for any. So what if I have this? Who could tell me, what does a to the 1/n, which is nth root of a, isn't that right? What does it mean? What is it? What's the value of this fractional exponent? Who could tell me what this means? Look at the previous one. Pecco.
What number can
Uh-huh.
you multiply?
What same number? It's got to be same.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What number can you multiply by itself n times to get 8?
Exactly. What number? I like that too. What numbers can you multiply by itself? So I wrote it this way. What same numbers can you multiply n times to make it equal to a? Right? Isn't that what the fractional exponent means? Very good. So write this down. So when you think about this, guys, after all, right? Watch this. Remember when we had square root of 4? Square root of 4, isn't that really square root? That 2 is really there. Isn't this 4 to the 1/2 power? So what is it saying? It's saying what? What same numbers can you multiply how many times? Twice. That would equal to 4. What is that number? 2. As you can see, it still works for the square roots, right? Does that make sense? Okay, any question on this? Does this make sense? Right? We knew that square root of 4 was 2, really, right? Well, now we could explain it using this fact we just learned.
Kitty, do you have a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
What would happen if the numerator is not 1?
That's okay. So we're gonna actually talk about that in a minute, right now. Okay, that's an excellent question. Okay, so here we go. Now, let me see if this explains. Okay, Katie, read what it says. All the what?
All the exponent rules apply to fractional exponents as well.
Yeah, all the exponent rule. Remember all the exponents rule we've studied so far? You know how sometimes we add them, sometimes we multiply, we subtract, right? And all that with the exponents. It'll work as well. So, I actually have. Do you guys remember? This rule? A to the m to the nth power. Remember, this is when we multiply the exponents. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So going with Getty's question, what happens if the
Excellent question.
if the numerator is not 1, right? It doesn't have to be 1. So for example, I don't want to show you the answer. Hold on. Let me answer Getty's question this way. And
Excellent.
guys, watch this. You guys remember that a to the m to the nth power is a to the mn, right? Guess what this will mean? 2 to 1/3 power to the 2nd power. Getty, what do you think this equals to? 2 to the 2/3. Now, does that answer your question? Do you always have to have 1 as a numerator? No, okay? It's okay. But what does it mean? To have the 2 in the numerator, it means the whole thing is being squared. Do you understand? That's all it means. Because every rules that we learn in exponents, they all apply for fractional exponent as well. Okay? So you could think about it this way too, right? It's cubic root of 2 to the 2nd power, still is 2/3. Right, guys? So if you see something like this and you go, what does this really mean, right? Well, it just means 2 to the 2/3 power, right? If they have it as a cubic root symbol. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? So if I have cubic root, it means 2 to the 1/3, right? You just use the rule that we've learned so far. Same exact rules. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's look at example 5. Wait, didn't we just do this one? What does cubic root of 8 mean?
Oh, 8 to the 1.
8 to the 1/3 power, which means we just found this. The answer is 2. So how do we then show this is 2 using this rule that we just learned? Is there a way to show this? That the answer is 2 using all these fractional rules? Watch this. What is 8 in terms of power of 2? 2 cubed. Isn't 8 1/3 2 cubed to the 1/3 power? Right? And what do we do with power to a power? What do we do with? We multiply. What is 3 times 1/3, guys? 1. So you get 2 to the 1st power. You see how it works with the fractional rules for all these exponents? Right? So you could think of them as, so do you think doing a factor tree would help you for tonight's homework? Yeah, because they don't always give you this 8, right? They give you some bigger number and things like that. So that's how you could figure this out using, so everything that we learn, everything works for rules for exponents. You see? Even with fractions. Does that make sense? That's what I want to emphasize. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so then, okay, let me hide this. Try to hide. Okay, Scott, you know how you remember, like, what about, you know, the number inside the square root? Remember what that was called the radicand, right? What if radicand is negative? What do you think for these? So do you think the answer for this is not a real number?
Oh no.
This one actually works. This has the answer. Unlike just, now guys, if I wrote down square root of -8, would there be answer for that one? No, that's not on a number line, so you're right, it's not a real number, right? But for cubic root of -8, this is
Or any
possible.
even number, 4.
Anybody see why this is possible? What do you think the answer is, first of all? First of all, what are we asking? We're asking, what numbers can you multiply 3 times? I mean, what same numbers can you multiply 3 times that makes it equal to -8? Kevin, what's the answer? -2 is the answer. Does anybody know why this works? Get Berge.
If it was squared, then -2 times -2 would be positive.
That's right.
But since it's cubed, then you do it another time, so it goes negative.
That's right. So what determines whether or not you could have negative inside or you have to have positive inside? What determines it? Yeah. That little number, which is called the root index. Okay, so first of all, let's just figure this out. Would you agree, guys, that if I multiply -2 3 times, would it be -8? Right? And so this means -2 to the 1/3 power.